Welcome back to the channel. You know, a common question that I get from new students is, how do we allocate our portfolio to accommodate for altcoins? How much capital should we allocate to our altcoin positions? How should we view our altcoin investment? What should be our rate of return? Where should we look to take profits? And how should we view altcoins as an asset in addition to things like Bitcoin or other commodities and assets? Well, I think there are some important fundamentals to consider whenever you're looking at investing in any kind of altcoin or any asset in general. I'm going to break that down in today's video. My method of analyzing altcoins, what I think is important and what I think is not important. So let's get cracking in today's episode of Trading Crypto 101. Where do I think would be a reasonable price for VET for the next few years? Is it currently undervalued? So no, I don't think that it's undervalued. I think that it is valued at exactly the worth that it pertains to the market right now. Now, if you, I don't have any speculative interest in VeChain. I have very little investment interest in most altcoins. There are some great projects that I think are really, really interesting, like security tokens. I think are good investments. I think that new projects that are coming out, or if existing projects can make bridges and barriers, I think that they're pretty neat. There are currently existing cryptocurrency projects besides Bitcoin and besides some of the majors that I do think represent good investment opportunities, that I do think, in my opinion, that I'm invested in. But you know, whether something is undervalued or not, I don't think that VeChain is undervalued. I don't, I think that VeChain is neat, but I don't see, and again, I don't want to get into a massive argument because then it comes into like my altcoin is better than yours. But my point is, like, there's no track record for altcoins, and so far as their value to an investor, there's no track record. They don't pay. So the problem, you know, this is why I think that for somebody looking for a passive income stream, understand this: when you're investing in cryptocurrency, you are a growth investor. Your only interest is the value of your asset appreciating, right? And your interest is not in your asset depreciating. So that is one investment or trading strategy. That's the only trading strategy is growth appreciation. That's a growth investment mindset. There are other investment mindsets. So personally, with my mindset, I'm looking for passive income. So things like dividends interest me. Things like investing in staking, things like investing in DPoS, things like investing in mining. Those things interest me because those things generate consistent returns that I can realize in the now. A lot of these altcoins, if they paid dividends, or if by simply holding them, I received a reward. That's why staking coins are actually pretty neat, because you do receive a form of passive income for your investment, right? And if you reinvest that back into the altcoin, then if you pair that with growth investment, then over the long term, that is a very profitable strategy, assuming that your directional bias in your investment strategy was correct. Your investment thesis about whatever you invested in was correct. So the idea that any individual altcoin may or may not be undervalued is highly speculative, and I don't think so, because we have very little incentive for investors. And so something can only be undervalued if it represents a higher value to investors. These altcoins haven't proven that they have a very high value to investors yet. They're still in the realm of complete speculation. So once these, I would say that once after, like 10, 15, 20 years, then we can start to talk about, then we're going to have enough of a track record on whether these coins are valued or not. But something like VeChain that's only seen one market cycle all the way up and all the way down, you can't say that something's undervalued, because until it does that same thing again, or 3 or 4 more times, you can't say, because we have very little track records on these. I know I'm very unpopular I'm very unpopular on Twitter for my opinion on altcoins. And it's not that I'm, a hater on altcoins. I have investments, but I think you got to be really, really careful about taking terminology and words and verbiage about investment from things that actually produce returns on their investment and have consistently for 50, 60, 100 years. And you're talking about altcoins. Now, does that mean that altcoins aren't valuable and are not good tech? No. Does it mean that Bitcoin is, again, I'm heavily invested in Bitcoin. Does it mean that these things can't do fundamentally what they claim to do and they're not valuable because of that? No, it doesn't. In fact, I think that they will and that they do. But when we're talking about investment, different mentality.